tonight is the supreme test of their faith. Most of the names will be familiar. Arsenal's Patrick Vieira hasn't made the starting 11, but Florian Maurice, a newcomer who plays for the local club here in Lyon, has.
I think that's a great decision by the French coach. I think they're going to play a little bit like with the back four in there with Blanc and Desailly, who are certainly going to have their work cut out to deal with the Brazilian front two. Ahead of that, I get the feeling that Carambeu and Deschamps will predict the forward runs of Zidane. I think there's a certainty that he will get forward as much as possible, either dribbling with the ball or making runs without it. It's up front, they'll be a little bit different from Brazil, with Ibrahim Ba operating from right to inside, and Robert Pires operating from left to inside, both hoping to go up and join Florian Maurice.
And now Brazil, the world champions, who come here off the back of their heaviest defeat for 8 years and what they regard as the national team's only reverse in the last 48 internationals. And embarrassed by that 4-2 loss in Norway, they've made a couple of changes, and they say, ominously, Andy, they never have 2 bad games in a row.
No, they'll go with the back four again. This is the way they played last night. Giovanni actually operated right side in the practice match last night, and Mauro Silva operated centrally with Dunga. But we do feel that Giovanni might be the one who gets forward to try and just help Ronaldo and Romario. But if you're French, and the way to stop them, and the many think the best way to do it is to stop the service to the front two, and I think that's what the French will be trying to do tonight.
Well, each country taking part in the tournament has a squad of 22. The 11 not selected to start are all named as subs. Any 3 of them can be called upon to play. The World Footballer of the Year teamed up in attack for Brazil with Romario. What a duo that looks in theory. So the tournoi about to get underway. Dress rehearsal for the World Cup finals for referees as well as players and officials. Kim Nielsen of Denmark, the man in charge tonight. But not just a dress rehearsal, of course, a competitive event this in its own right. Each nation will play 3 games. There's the usual 3 points for a win, and goal difference will decide the winners if they can't be separated on points. Brazil, need I tell you, in their world-famous strip of yellow shirts. The referee not happy with the first free kick, which was awarded their way. It'll have to come back and be taken again.
Just looking at the French very quickly, it's exactly what we thought they'd play. They're playing that system.
Carambeu trying to make the challenge on Ronaldo, who runs into trouble. Deschamps, the French captain, finding Zidane. Good strong run by him. That's lifting the crowd in the opening seconds here. Ibrahim Ba in support down the right-hand side. And now Carambeu. Many of these players, of course, part of the squad for Euro 96. Ibrahim Ba, who made an excellent cross there, wasn't. He's one of the new boys on the block. Tafarel, one of the old boys on the block for Brazil.
But that's the way they want it to work. When the right-sided player gets forward, look who's in the box, helping Maurice. It was Pires. But I just noticed last night, watching them playing in this little knockabout here, Brazil, the one place they do leave a little bit of space is wide. And I just don't think it's any surprise that the French have come in with 2 men that will play wide at times. Because there was definite space there, Alan, last night. Giovanni and Leonardo don't play as wide men, and this is a little example of the French. They'll be able to take the ball really deep into the Brazil half quite comfortably without a challenge, and it'll be interesting to see how Brazil deal with that.
France beaten only once over 90 minutes in their last 34 internationals, and Brazil, who went, well, very nearly 4 years without losing what they would regard as a senior match. Here's Roberto Carlos, the Real Madrid defender. He's had his first season in Spain. Obviously, most of the players in both squads, in fact, tonight, play their club football outside of their homeland. Well, here's Ronaldo.
What a ball from Ronaldo, outside of the right foot.
Only 50 yards, and only accurate. Goal kick to the French.
Lucky. I think what's great about tonight, we've got 4 people who are not exactly playing as wing-backs, Alan, because the other side's playing with 3 central defenders, but 4 wide players here that will all want to bomb forward. Certainly the Brazilian 2 will. And I'm pretty sure that Candela and Lizarazu will do as well.
Lizarazu, the little left-back who played a prominent part in the French campaign in the European Championships a year ago in England. They reached the semi-finals, remember, before going out to the Czech Republic on penalties in that dramatic game at Old Trafford. Here's Zidane, who's had a marvellous first season in Italian football. Now Maurice, the local player for Olympique Lyon. Disappointing end, though, to what had looked a promising attack. One of the other newcomers, Robert Pires, who plays for Metz.
I'll tell you what's been positive is the start of the game. I have to say both have opened up very openly, full of enterprise.
And as I think they were observing back in the studio, we can confirm the pitch here in absolutely marvellous condition. Looks as though it hasn't been played on, never mind a surface at the end of the domestic season. Here's Giovanni, the Barcelona player, one of those preferred in the centre of midfield to Juninho. Figure of Desailly wins it back for the French. Karambou, Desailly again, good play. Deschamps spotting Pires free on the left. Maurice making ground in the middle. Barr is with him as well. He's done well here, the winger, and wins the first corner for his side. Robert Pires, couple of goals in his previous 5 internationals. He's only 23.
Good positive run. Wasn't afraid to go at and commit defenders. This time Celio Silva, who comes across and just does enough. Didn't rush into the tackle, but timed it really quite well. But noticeable big gap there. Cafu had gone forward and just been picked off.
Good header clear by Cafu as well. And a disappointing ball by Deschamps when the French should have really retained possession.
I thought he might hit that. Did sit down quite nicely for him. With his quality and the quality that's on the pitch, normally anything dropping about 20-25 yards from goal, sitting up like that, it's a surprise not to see it fired straight back at the goalkeeper.
Ibrahim Barr giving Leonardo a tough time. And the lovely, languid, almost relaxed looking skills we come to expect from Brazil were very much in evidence, and Andy and I watched them training here last night, but this is the real thing. And this might be one of the most competitive games in this tournament as well, with neither team obviously involved in World Cup qualifiers. They've got to treat every friendly as a serious match. There's Cafu again. Giovanni, a tall, elegant playmaker. It's a lovely little ball forward as well. Well placed in the middle. Here's Romario eventually, and he almost lost Ibrahim Barr, the midfield player, doing well for the French then to get back and make the challenge.
Well, you don't expect Romario and Ronaldo to pass, but really, he could just have knocked it 3 or 4 yards to the right, and Ronaldo was completely open, but that was a lovely little break from the Brazilians.
Pires lying injured for the French as play continues with Laurent Blanc, who now kicks the ball out of play, so Pires can receive some attention. Outstanding match for his club Metz against Newcastle United last season in the UEFA Cup, and he is the subject of a great deal of transfer speculation at the moment. Laurent Blanc plays now for Barcelona, gets the French moving forward. Candela, who's just had his first season in the Italian league, right back, the number 2 here. Maurice was brought down by Roberto Carlos. Big night for him on his home ground. He got a huge cheer when his name was read out in the starting lineup. Lizarazu. Zidane.
It looks like Mauro Silva's actually going to try and, when they lose the ball, try and track Zidane. There's no doubt he's a danger. He picks the ball up, he's already shown he's got the ability to go and run at people. And that's why I think that Mauro Silva has been placed in the central area rather than a wider position, so that he can get himself around Zidane.
The French, incidentally, haven't lost an international on home soil for 15 games now, almost 4 years, since Bulgaria beat them in a World Cup qualifier in Paris. More was expected of the French than they eventually delivered in Euro 96, but they were still marvellously entertaining. And their coach, Jacquet, is a great believer in attacking, entertaining football. So we should have some prospect ahead of us here, because the Brazilians, of course, are renowned for their approach to the game. Maurice brought down.
Looks lively. First we'll look at Florian Maurice. Not afraid to come short, get involved in the build-up play. Always looking to turn so far, not looking to just pop it off.
Horribly delivered free kick gives Brazil the throw. Before their defeat in Norway at the weekend, Brazil had played 9 internationals this season and won 6, drawn 3. In fact, they've won their last 6 games in a row before that defeat in Norway, scoring 18 goals in the process and conceding just 3. Brazil go on from this tournament to the South American Championships, which is, if you like, the equivalent in that part of the world of our European Championship, so a very serious event for them. Carambu receiving a knock there and has had to go off the field. It was turned by Leonardo. He thought he was going to get a corner, he was wrong. He plays his club football in France for Paris Saint-Germain, and Liverpool fans will remember him scoring against them in the Cup Winners' Cup this season.
You can see right there why he was a little upset. Great camera angle there, showed a little deflection of the defender.
Odeyer beating Maurice to it. Now Deschamps, involved in the European Cup final, of course, for Juventus less than a week ago. Ronaldo, excellent tackle from Laurent Blanc, didn't give him a moment to settle. Odeyer, a very experienced defender who plays in Italy, Roma. Fu coming forward on the right. Romario slips a lovely ball through to Ronaldo. Terrific save from Barthez.
That's brilliant play. Slow football. Suddenly, Ronaldo just did a little step over. He knew Romario was behind him. He knew where he wanted the ball delivered. Romario provided a lovely little pass. And as we expect from a man who's valued so highly, no surprise to see him at the target.
And amazingly, the corner obviously went straight out of play, to the relief of Fabian Barthez and the disappointment of Roberto Carlos.
Well, the first real scare of the match, that one, but the goalkeeper was pretty pleased. It wasn't an easy angle for Ronaldo, but he did strike the ball beautifully.
First choice keeper this season, and like the man he replaced, Bernard Lamar, has served a ban in French football for using drugs. Not sure whether it's compulsory in French football that goalkeepers are seen to take dodgy substances, but it doesn't seem to be any hindrance to them getting into the national team. Zidane, Maurice, Deschamps, Zidane, lovely ball for Barr, he could score!
Oh, what a chance, Alan, what a chance. But he really didn't do anything but just stand there, and the Barr's just hit it right off him. Again, one of the full-backs is ahead of play, and really got caught way out of position, Roberto Carlos. And Barr should have done better, I feel sure about that.
Well, 12 minutes gone, both teams have created a marvellous chance, and if the football in this tournament carries on like it's started, we're in for a treat. Perhaps with that little bit of pressure removed, the players are going to be relaxed and turn on the talents that we know they have. Mandela favourite to reach this before Roberto Carlos, and that's a good ball down the line for Ibrahim Bar. do not adjust your set. His hair really is blonde, and he should have really given his team the lead here.
Yeah, you see what I mean? He's just hit it straight at the goalkeeper, straight at Taffarel. Anything across him towards that far corner, and I think the goalkeeper would have been struggling.
Zidane. Oh, nutmeg. Don't do that to many Brazilian players. That's one to tell the grandchildren about. And good play by Celio Silva, just prevented the corner, but he has given France the throw. Is Bar again. Exciting young player he is, Quindela. Bar. And the Brazilians, amazingly, not looking too comfortable in defence, Andy.
Well, they've never been renowned as having the best defenders in the world, Alan. I think that's the case. But they do have in front, I think, with Dunga and Mauro Silva, what they've done, they've picked two players who work hard. They're not typical Brazilian footballers, all flair and skill. These two are two central midfield players that are in there, I think, to try and protect a back four that loses its full-backs occasionally.
And Karambou has had to go off again to the French, and in fact he's not going to get back on. They have decided to make a change, and the man coming on to replace him is Arsenal's Patrick Vieira.
There was a lot of talk before the game that Vieira would actually start the match.
Patrick Vieira at 20, the youngest player in the French squad, and this is only his third cap. They've all come, in fact, in the last 3 months. So we do have some Premiership interest out there now. Lizarazu finding Pires, the challenge from behind by Cafu gives France the free kick. Oh, lovely little ball for Lizarazu. There's a great shout for handball from the supporters on the far side.
But might well have struck the hand. I don't think Cafu knew a lot about it. He was very, very close.
Pires brought down by the Brazilian captain Dunga, who's shown the yellow card. So a disappointing first for him, the first caution of the tournoi.
Well, often in big tournaments, you're disappointed with the quality of free kicks when you've got such great players on show. It'll be interesting to see if any of the sides in this tournament have come up with something new in that department. It wasn't great in Euro 96. I think we remember the poor quality of the set pieces.
Zidane and Bar, the two players over the ball here for France. Taffarel pacing his goal line nervously. He didn't need to. Not one he'd be proud of.
No words needed, no.
And if there'd been any supporters behind that goal, they would have been ducking to get out of the way of that free kick. There aren't, because the south stand here is being rebuilt for the World Cup next year, and that will take the capacity up to 44,000 all seated. It's a beautiful stadium, built 70 years ago. In fact, it's classed as an historic monument, and they're having to rebuild within the original exterior.
Won't belong to a class new as that then as well, won't it?
As long as you don't try and rebuild me. Others have tried and failed. Now Giovanni. Dunga. Feeling he should have had a free kick there, but the Danish referee says play on.
Did well, referee. Just a tad theatrical, Dunga.
Lizarazu with a lovely ball for Deschamps. Who was famously called, rather insultingly, the water carrier by Eric Cantona. But it doesn't seem to deter successive managers. It's Deschamps' 59th cap tonight. Only Laurent Blanc in their squad has more. And here he is. His 60th international. Deschamps. Lizarazu. Maurice making the early run, but France go back to keep possession. Desailly. Ba. Condela. That was a pretty difficult ball.
Not a great ball. Yeah, he wanted it up to his chest. The space was there. It wasn't a difficult ball for Condela to play in.
Giovanni loses possession. Deschamps gives it straight back to Brazil. Cafu, who played in the '94 World Cup final for them as a substitute. Very experienced team the Brazilians have. Quite an old side as well in international terms. For instance, here's 31. Now Roberto Carlos. Laurent Blanc very coolly takes it off him. Well, that's calm play between Barthez and Blanc. Now Ibrahim Bar. You can feel the buzz of excitement when he gets the ball. Sort of player that spectators love. His first thought is to run at defenders. Leonardo in trouble against Vieira. I think that's his first touch since he came on. Pires, Deschamps, Zidane, Lizarazu. And the Brazilians just close the door when danger threatens. First time layoff by Romario was excellent. Deschamps seems to be the hub of things. It all goes through him in the middle of the field. And here he is again. Dunga on to Leonardo, and the flick forward finds Ronaldo just offside. He'll have to stop.
It was quick though, isn't it? I think he's a threat. I think it's always dangerous. If you're going to hold a line like that up the pitch, you've got to get it absolutely right. You're facing someone like that young man.
9 goals in his last 8 internationals, 13 in the 20 he's played for Brazil so far. Not a bad start to what's going to be a long career. He's still only 20. Silvio Silva getting himself in a tangle here. Maurice. Zidane. Bar. Condela making the run down the right. Vieira joins in. Zidane finding Deschamps. Maurice making a good early run into the box. Pires was free on the left as well.
I thought Pires was his ball. Again, when they work it from one side to the other, they are getting a little bit of joy and getting good, comfortable ball on the edge of the box.
Vieira obstructing Ronaldo then.
Yeah, no doubt that's a free kick, that an easy decision.
And another free kick and another easy decision as well. Well, it's an awful long way out, but you never know with Brazilians.
Well, the way they look at the ball, look at the way he's got it there. He's got it in his hands, he's having a good careful look about it. It's placed absolutely perfect. Look at that. I mean, everything's set that he's going to hit it. I just wonder if the kid is on.
It's what, all of 30 yards, Andy?
Well, why not? Well, it's a 30-yard free kick with a 20-yard run-up.
Dear, I don't believe it. What a goal we have just seen from Roberto Carlos. That is amazing.
Well, that was what was missing in Euro 96. That is quite incredible. Not so sure about the goalkeeper's position and what he saw, but we can't deny the quality of the strike. It had power, it had bend, it had accuracy. Watch this. Starts way wide of the goal. That's 2-3 yards wide and just clips the inside of the post. That is quite a magnificent free kick. I'm not so sure we'll see one better than that for many a year. Quite exquisite.
An absolutely stunning shot. Barthez, well, he was as much a spectator as I was, and probably just as surprised as I was when that flew in off the post.
Well, I said the goalie didn't move, but to be fair, he couldn't have done an awful lot about that. He was other side. What a bend on a football. Well, the outside of the foot. Unbelievable.
There's some players who couldn't have reached the goal line from there, I think.
I can think of plenty, yeah.
What an incredible goal by Roberto Carlos. Oh, that turned the clock back.
It stunned everyone in the stadium. All the French are absolutely stunned, Alan. I'm not joking. I think they're all thinking, oh, we can't quite believe that. How on earth has that gone in? But when you see that replay after replay, and it's one we certainly will show time and time again now, it was quite magnificent.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen a shot hit as hard as that from that far out. And there have been some spectacular Brazilian free kick goals over the years.
You look at likes of Rivelino, Garrincha, all wonderful. Branco, all great dead ball strikers. But I don't know if any of them have hit one as well as that from that kind of distance.
Well, we need your speed machine on that one, don't we? I think that broke the speed limit.
That's just a bend on it, but I think that was the thing.
Well, pick that one out, as they say. On with the game. And Barthez, having made that excellent early save from Ronaldo, can't believe what's just hit him. So Brazil, the world champions, score the first goal of Le Tournoi. And what a goal. If there's a better one than that, I can't wait to see it. Here's Cafu. Oh, brilliant skill by Cafu. And he's there again with a marvellous shot, Ronaldo.
What a save.
Again.
Well, Cafu started like he's on fire. Everything has come from the right-hand side. This is struck as well as you likely strike it. You've got to get his own player out the way. Again, the goalkeeper's fortunate in many respects that it's right above him. A yard either side, I think he's picking it out the net again.
Leonardo's corner, he's really put a bend on that, but it's bent straight into the grateful hands of Fabian Barthez. Well, Brazil did say their pride was hurt by that defeat in Norway, and the way they've started tonight, you can see what they need. Lovely little touch on there by Maurice, but well read by Celio Silva. Lizarazu leaning into Giovanni, a much bigger man. Well, that was reasonable skill as well, wasn't it, by Giovanni? Just had his first season in Spain with Barcelona, and what a season as well. Miles offside here, Romario.
Yeah, I don't know. The French have certainly switched things around a bit. Pires, who's on the ball now, it's moved from left to right, and Ibrahim Ba's gone to the wide left side. So they're moving their two wide men around a little bit, just testing them.
And a pull on the back there, but it's not going to count as Romario goes on and tries to chip goalkeeper Barthez.
You just never know what Romario's going to do. I think he, at times, might be quite a frustrating player to play alongside. Ronaldo made a wonderful run for him, just gave him a little bit of time on the ball to look up. And why shouldn't we expect the Brazilians to try something extravagant?
Zidane. Deschamps. On it goes to Bar. Looked more effective coming down this right flank, but Ami Jacquet is a great believer in switching his teams around. Changes the personnel, changes the tactics frequently. He's one of the few coaches I can think of who actually says he doesn't like stability. He says you need change to provoke reaction from players. Deschamps, one of those who's always in the starting lineup. Vieira, given away. Against Brazil, that's dangerous. Cafu, Leonardo, Romario, and again. Looked suspiciously like handball by Desailly.
He leans into it a little bit. I'm not so sure it did catch the arm. But again, Romario was trying to find Cafu, who had absolutely bombed down that right-hand side.
Condella not able to go back to his goalkeeper. Pires the outlet. Good ball forward. Well on block. Tafarel took a risk then. And the French don't seem to have recovered from that stunning goal against them. Here's Pires. Aldeia. Giovanni. And now Cafu. Oh, lovely stuff. Leonardo. The French pushing up, trying to get off side decision, but they've won the ball back anyway.
They're taking a chance, holding a line so high up the pitch like that.
Terrific skill from Ronaldo. Now Giovanni. Romario hesitated, but he's still offside. Zidane. Now Lizarazu. This is Bar. Good tackle.
Yeah, that's what Silva and Dunga do ever so well. Talked about the two of them. They get back in, they really help their back four an awful lot. And I almost say to Leonardo and Giovanni, well, you two, defensive responsibilities are limited. You help the front two whenever you can, and we'll bomb the two full-backs on as well whenever we can.
Here's Keller for France. Vieira, and again, guilty of giving it away, the Arsenal man. Cafu down the right. Celio Silva. Now Pires knows he's got Roberto Carlos right behind him. And Keller with a rather nervous back pass. Maurice, in what's only his second appearance in the French national team, hasn't really had much service so far.
I actually thought the French started quite brightly, and I mean, since the goal, well, the Brazilians are just growing in confidence. Now the problem is getting the ball off them.
Another glorious crossfield ball. Dunga. Cafu continues his run down the right. That'll be a corner. Lizarazu complaining to the linesman that he was nudged, but a corner it is.
He's pleading for help, I think. Cafu's given him a torrid time so far. He's really run at him continually. It might well be that that's part of the reason that they've changed Jacquet. The fact that they might feel that Bar could help him a little bit better.
Cafu. Now Dunga. Well, let's remind you, if you need reminding, that on this channel tomorrow evening we've got the next game in the tournament, and that of course is England's first match. It's against Italy, it's in Nantes, and our programme begins at 7. Pires. Well, just over half an hour gone, Andy. What do you make of what we've seen so far?
Oh, it's been thoroughly enjoyable, I have to say. There's been lots of skill on show. The Brazilians, well, they've been pretty impressive, I have to say. I thought the French started the better. A great chance when Bar went through, and I think should have done better. But since that magnificent free kick, Brazil just seem to have grown in confidence. And you know, the French were shocked, no doubt. They've just got to claw their way back into this game.
Well, that was surely a foul. You've agreed with the referee. There's another first. Dunga, the captain, and another offside. Well, the French have got away with the ploy so far.
Now guess who? That right-hand side, Cafu. The right back caught offside.
Deschamps. That's a great ball. Bar. Well, he almost found a way through. Aldeir's clearance. Giovanni takes it down as though there's not another player on the pitch. And even the French spectators now applauding the skills of the Brazilian players. And what skills. Dunga. Roberto Carlos, the goal scorer. Leonardo takes them on. Roberto Carlos, offside again.
Shouldn't have been, he knows it. He's looking right across the line. A great feat from Leonardo. Drove into them at the edge of the box and just picked a little pass, but here again, Roberto Carlos might have been offside then, but look how wide that free kick starts. That is awesome, absolutely awesome.
Well, it started in Paris and it finished in Lyon, that ball. And what a journey it had on the way. Lizarazu. Desailly. The home crowd trying to get the players inspired to get back into this game here. The French having a lot of possession, but it's in that final third where they've not looked anything like as effective as Brazil. Perhaps they can now through Zidane. Corner.
Good ball from Vieira, I have to say. I thought Zidane was offside about a yard, but they're often difficult to give. The linesman and they're right below you. He just looks to have pulled up rather quickly, Zidane, as well. Whether he's nursing anything.
Blanc and Desailly, a dual threat for the Brazilians here. But they dealt with it pretty capably. Deschamps. Vieira. Pires. And Deschamps looks for Zidane, far edge of the box. Oh, there was a moment's delay there as Aldair waited for Taffarel. That is part of the folklore of football, that the Brazilians have never been the greatest defenders in the world, but when you can score goals like they can, does it matter? It's only the second time, incidentally, that Roberto Carlos has ever scored for his country, and it's one he and I will never forget, and I suspect all of you watching.
Fair to say, I don't think he'll score a better one.
Brilliant skills again from Cafu. Leonardo. And the crowd entering into the spirit of things here. It's the Brazilians they're applauding at the moment, not their own team. Candela. Pires had to stretch for that.
Well, they just can't keep the ball long enough, the French, at the moment. When the Brazilians have it, they're picking 5-10 passes quite comfortably. The French can't seem to string too many along together at all at the moment.
Excellent defending from Lizarazu. Pires. Deschamps. And the little left back comes forward again, and that's a testing ball, but it's a goal kick. Well, Jacquet, who took over after France failed to qualify for the 1994 World Cup finals, rather like his players, can only stand back and admire at the moment what the Brazilians are doing. The great Brazilian teams of the 50s, 60s and indeed early 70s seem to have been replaced by a rather more pragmatic Brazilian side in the intervening years, but I think in 1994 in the World Cup finals, and maybe we're getting a hint of it tonight, we're back to a free-flowing, beautiful game again from the world champions. And the French showing that they can turn on the skills as well. Maurice with the little dummy, he must presumably have thought somebody was better placed behind him.
It's a good idea, it's just a pity he didn't take it, collect it.
Ronaldo on his way, Romario in support. Drill the ball so expertly to Giovanni, who gets the free kick now then.
Well, guess who's jogging over and get involved?
Yes, you. Afraid so, Desai, and he might know what the possible consequences are. Now, this is about 10 yards nearer as well than the free kick which led to that stunning Brazilian goal. Batten down the hatches.
Well, they might pull a flanker and try someone else. I'm sure they've got more than one that can take a set piece. Certainly everyone, including the goalkeeper, will be looking. Roberto Carlos, but Giovanni might just take a step and try and bend it top corner. There's Leonardo, the other one that's up there. I think it is. So a spot for choice. And it's amazing, isn't it? They've got a free kick that close to goal. 2, 4, 6 players, 7 players altogether, including the goalkeeper behind the ball. They've only got 2 in the 18-yard box, so I don't think they're too interested in nicking it wide and putting a cross in. I think this is being struck.
Right, hold your breath. Here we go. Oh, it was another variation, and a pretty dramatic one as well, with Celio Silva proving how hard he can whack it as well.
Zidane davanti per Deschamps, supera molto bene l'avversario che lo mette giù. Il fallo da parte di Mauro Silva e l'ammonizione, la seconda della partita per Mauro Silva, la prima era per Dunga.
Ineccepibile la decisione di Milton Nielsen, trattenuto l'avversario per la maglia, cartellino giallo.
Da Vieira in avanti per Pires, intervento di Dunga, buona scelta di tempo, poi Giovanni, colpo di tacco, ancora Dunga, Leonardo, Ronaldo viene fermato da Pires, un altro passaggio largo per Candelà, all'indietro per Candelà, manca il colpo di testa il difensore numero 5 Mauro Silva.
Yeah, in the battle with Mauro Silva, only one winner there, I'm afraid. Leonardo.
He's going to Cafu, you watch this.
They're rubbish at those crossfield passes, aren't they? Absolute rubbish. Here's Romario.
This is what I mean now, Alan. I think they've got to break and break with purpose. They've got 5 in the build-up, 5v5, and this is when I think they can catch the Brazilians.
Pires in possession. Oh, what a disappointing end. The crowd show their displeasure.
Now, that was a great situation for them, the best one they've had in probably the last 25 minutes of this match. Not a great strike from Pires. Yeah.
Ooh la la, or the equivalent from Jacquet. Ronaldo. Giovanni. Romario. Lizarazu did well then. Cafu playing almost like an outside right there. That's good defending from Lizarazu. Here's Pires. And it's good football from the French now. Desai. Zidane. Just tried to chip it through to Bar, but got it wrong. Ronaldo. Now he's got the pace and the strength here. 3 players lining up to defend against him, and he still found a telling pass.
That was unlucky. He attracted 3 French defenders all towards him in this near side. And Roberto Carlos just made acres of ground. He just tried to feed a little ball in his path. He was a little unlucky. When they flow, they flow. I have to say that about them. They are a joy to watch as a neutral.
Brazil lead 1-0. 3 minutes of the half remaining, they have a corner. And the referee's given a free kick to the French here. The foul was by Celio Silva. Condela, full-back in possession again. And it's disappointing from Ibrahim Ba. Plays for Bordeaux, incidentally, although It's reported he's on his way to Milan for about £5 million. Chicken feed these days.
Wouldn't mind being a chicken then.
Andy Gray, a chicken. I've never heard that before.
For £5 million.
Here's Maurice. It's a good ball as well. Pires. Well, chose the wrong option, obviously. And the French crowd getting increasingly impatient with their team. Ronaldo. Romario. On it goes to Roberto Carlos, and the cross was excellent.
Well, that shows you, we'll often talk about that ball played in between goalkeeper and defenders. And we're watching some of the best defenders in the world, real quality. But look how embarrassed Desailly is with that. Horrible bounce on it, a real difficult area, worried about smacking it past his own goalkeeper. Everyone is difficult to deal with that kind of ball.
Another Brazilian corner. You get the feeling Leonardo could curl this one straight in. Not quite, but he's got another corner out of it. They enjoy these set pieces, don't they? You can see it by their expressions. They love pitting their skills against the ball. Well, it was another curler, well defended on the near post. Actually, I used the wrong phrase there, pitting themselves against the ball, because if ever there was a group of players, Andy, that love the football, it's these Brazilians, isn't it?
Yeah, they did a pretty average warm-up without the ball, a few stretches last night out here, but as soon as they were thrown some footballs, well, the show was on then.
Well, they tell players to treat the ball as their friend. The Brazilians treat it as their lover. Whoops, Tafarel.
Well done, goalkeeper, I tell you. Well done. He was under severe pressure.
Even the goalkeeper can play.
Well, don't get carried away. This is just try and slip the ball through. Well, there, yeah, well in control, but just a nice awkwardly one, just to set it up, 2 to control it, and 3, it's on its way.
That's the end of a first half of entertaining football from first minute to last. But the moment we'll all remember for a long time was when Roberto Carlos smashed a free kick in from, well, 30-35 yards perhaps, off the post with wonderful pace and power and precision. What a goal!
Siete nuovamente collegati con Lione in attesa del secondo tempo di questa partita inaugurale del torneo quadrangolare di Francia. Vi rammento il punteggio, ancora una volta Brasile in vantaggio per 1-0, rete segnata al 22esimo minuto da Roberto Carlos. Come avete potuto seguire nella sintesi che è stata commentata da Marco Mazzocchi, altre occasioni in questa partita, in questo primo tempo ricco di colpi, ricco di numeri. Una occasione per Bane, la Francia, 2 conclusioni per Ronaldo con grosse risposte di Barthez. Le prossime partite di questo torneo di Francia saranno domani Italia-Inghilterra, poi sabato Francia-Inghilterra, domenica Italia-Brasile, martedì Inghilterra-Brasile, mercoledì infine Francia-Italia. Gianni Cerqueti.
Ma il Brasile non batte la Francia dall'81, Parigi 15 maggio, Brasile-Francia 3-1, gara amichevole. Questa è la 4ª sfida in terra francese, i 3 precedenti tutti a Parigi senza mai un pareggio, 2 vittorie del Brasile, però la Francia ha sempre segnato nei confronti con il Brasile in terra francese. Vedremo se capiterà anche stasera. Per il momento deve inchinarsi ad un Brasile superiore tecnicamente, credo anche tatticamente. È un Brasile che ha saputo rendersi molto più pericoloso dei padroni di casa. Certo, un conto avere Ronaldo e Romario, un conto è avere, con tutto il rispetto, Maurice, un Maurice peraltro poco aiutato, poco assistito, molto isolato là davanti. Vedremo adesso le mosse di Jacquet che, da quanto abbiamo intuito durante l'intervallo, potrebbe procedere addirittura a 2 cambi.
Intanto ci sono arrivate cifre riguardanti il primo tempo, cifre che documentano, almeno per quanto riguarda il possesso di palla, una grande parità. Infatti sono stati giocati effettivamente 31 minuti, 15 minuti e 6 secondi di possesso di palla per la Francia, 15 minuti 52 secondi, qualche cosa di più, di possesso di palla per il Brasile. Però, come diceva Cerqueti, naturalmente poi il giudizio lo si dà in altro modo. Il Brasile in vantaggio non ha assolutamente rubato nulla, anzi spesso ci ha anche impressionato. E vediamo le novità.
Sì, direi la novità è in campo Keller per la Francia. Non mi sembra di vedere
The reactions all around him. Fantastic goal. 1-0 the Brazilians lead. Let's rejoin Andy Gray and Alan Parry.
Perfect timing, Richard, as France get the second half underway, attacking the goal now to our left against the most successful nation in the history of world football. Brazil, 4 times winners of the major prize, including the first time and the most recent time in the USA a couple of years ago, of course. Just checking the substitutions here. The French have brought on Keller and taken off Pires as Maurice feels the effects of the first challenge of the second half.
I'm not surprised to see the French make a change. I think Perez was, well, pretty ineffective in the first half.
Keller, who's a striker from Karlsruhe in Germany. He's only just broken into the national team for the French, even though he's 29. And he replaces the rather out-of-sort Robert Pires. They also had Lilian Thuram, the defender, warming up at half-time, but he stays on the bench for the moment. Here's Ibrahim Bar, who's returned to the right flank at the start of this half and gets a free kick.
A little bit generous, I think. Aldair didn't do an awful lot wrong for me.
Wasn't a bad free kick, and Blanc has almost scored, and then
Free kick,
the most ridiculous back pass you've ever seen.
Yeah. It'd be a free kick.
Well,
Blanc done ever so well to get to the ball in the first place. It's a towering header, but the goalkeeper can only just push out. You watch this, and he comes back post, loses his marker. Tafarel's tempted, and on his way back, this just drops, and he can only just nudge it out. And that, from Dunga, is a pass back.
was he thinking of?
Well, if they were watching England recently, they might try the old Shearer Sheringham one, the back heeling blast.
It is literally 6 yards from goal. Well, what drama at the start of the second half here.
I wonder if this is going through Desai. We'll see Desai is standing with legs apart there. Is it just going to get rolled through to Mark Keller? No, he's just moving away.
All 11 Brazilians lined up on the goal line.
This might just get shifted through his legs, I tell you.
Deschamps, Desai over the ball. Zidane yards away, poised perhaps to shoot.
He's just booked the goalkeeper.
Referee almost going along the line like a school teacher telling off naughty schoolboys. They can't go any further back. It's Zidane, and it's somehow kept out.
Well, that's good fortune more than anything. It's Cafu, who else, who gets the block. He's had such an amazing game, this number 2. But he knew scant little of the strike from Zidane. It came through a ruck of players. He was just stood there. He's one of the few that didn't move off the line. And it just hit him.
Tafarel has missed it. And we think he was yellow carded, incidentally, in that little discussion that preceded the free kick.
He just tried to encroach. He wanted to get in front of the wall. The referee would have none of it. He was pushing him back level with the wall.
The French mean business here.
Well, they've started with a bit more tempo to their game. Here we go. You watch your number 2. He doesn't move. He's the only one who doesn't. Left of the screen, turns his back on it, hits him in the shin. could have gone anywhere. Look at them all, they're all out en masse except Cafu, who actually turns away. Well, when you're hot, they say.
And Taffarel, yellow carded. Well, we've had one dramatic free kick tonight. We might have well followed it with another goal from a set piece of rather different nature. But Brazil held out. And remember, France, who, apart from the penalty shootout against the Czech Republic in the European Championships, have been beaten only once in the last 3 years. That was against Denmark in Copenhagen. Leonardo for Brazil. Dunga, the captain, offside. Roberto Carlos. Dunga had a couple of years out of the national team after captaining them to the World Cup victory in 1994. Back in the side and winning tonight his 73rd cap. Deschamps for France. Brazilians backing away and inviting the run. Here's Ibrahim Ba.
The ball, well dealt with at the end. A bit more positive for French. That's a decent ball in from Ba. Unfortunately for the French, no real options in there.
An up-tempo start by the French, but the corner was wasted. And the newcomer, the substitute, Keller, will take the throw and get it back perhaps from Zidane. Useful cross from a tight angle. Deschamps keeps the pressure on. But they want the ball played in early. Desailly is up front. That's a little ball slid into Maurice instead. Now Patrick Vieira. Here's Deschamps. Keller. Chance for Zidane.
Decent pressure from the French at last. It's about the first time in the match they've had a bit of continuous pressure. They kept the ball, it was coming out, but they kept pegging it back in. It wasn't an easy chance for Zidane, he was under pressure. Immediately tried to control the ball. I'm just struggling a little at the back, the Brazilians in that respect, but asking to do a little bit more work, a little bit more hurried.
And the Brazilians definitely a little rattled by the start that France have made here. Remember, each team in this tournament plays the other on one occasion, so Brazil will play Italy here in Lyon, in fact, on Sunday, and England in Paris a week today. The French have England in Montpellier on Saturday, final game against Italy in Paris a week tomorrow. All those matches live here on Sky exclusively.
Just one or two passes now gone astray.
Roberto Carlos, who facially is a dead ringer for Chris Hughton, the old Spurs fullback. Not sure Chris, even in his immodest moments, could claim to ever score a goal like that one, though. But he proves he can defend as well, Roberto Carlos.
No, he had a good position. Could easily have been attracted to Ba and left the space inside, but he wasn't.
Foul by Ba on that very same player. Aldair. Ronaldo's been a little quiet at the start of the second half. He had a poorish game by his standards, I gather, against Norway at the weekend.
Well, if you're a front man, you can only work down when they get the ball to you. And at the moment, the French have controlled the football for the majority of this second half so far.
Lovely skill again from Ronaldo. And France at full stretch Desailly's clearance. He got caught, almost anyway, in possession then.
Well, he got ambushed, didn't he? He turned away towards his own goal, thinking I'll get a bit of time, as you sometimes get in international football as a defender. But Leonardo and Cafu were all over him.
Finger arrows it out to Roberto Carlos, whose control let him down for once. But Ibrahim Ba couldn't keep possession.
They're just on the front foot a little bit more, France, in this half. They've not stood off and allowed Brazil to play it across the back. Zidane's pushed when they haven't had the ball, pushed a little bit further forward and said, well, go on then, if you want to pass it along the back, we'll put you under a little bit more pressure this half.
Vieira, Zidane, Deschamps, good football. France finding their rhythm now, passing much better. Roberto Carlos not having the opportunities this half, so far anyway, to get forward. Nor Cafu on this right-hand side.
See what I mean about across? Look at Zidane's position here. He's almost a front man there. And he's saying, well, go on then, we're not allowing you to play it across the back between the two centre-backs, forcing the ball to come long. The Brazilians don't look as clever.
Lizarazu. Header clear by Cilio Silva. Zidane. Well, that looked a foul by Aldeia on Maurice. Roberto Carlos. Cilio Silva. Good atmosphere from this crowd of 30,000 now. As France go forward with Keller. That's a goal kick.
I think we've learned one thing about this Brazilian side from the first half, is that if you do stand off them, and if you do give them too much respect, i.e. time and space, then they'll pick you off and they'll enjoy it. And they'll play cold, calculating football, just knocking about. But certainly the opening 10 minutes of the second half, when France have been on the front foot, playing more like a European, a British side, and putting them under a bit more pressure, they didn't look as good.
Bad mistake there by Laurent Blanc. Can Brazil profit from it? He made up for it with the tackle. Barthez unhappy. I think he's trying to claim there was a handball here.
Yeah, it might just be here, did it? Yeah, it just hit the right hand as it came up. That's all you can see with the referee is it's impossible for him to have seen it from there. But Blanc, well, he made amends for his earlier error. Got back in, got an important tackle. That's the real danger now when I'm pushing forward, is that they get caught in the break. A lot of international sides will have one prolific goal scorer on international level. Where Brazil have a little ahead of most, as they have two real prolific goal scorers up top.
Deschamps. Lizarazu. Gets it back from Zidane. It's a good ball, but Keller's offside. French caught in their own trap this time. France have never won the World Cup, of course, and we'll point to the fact that the previous time they have staged a major tournament, the 1984 European Championships. They won it on that occasion with a marvellous side, Gires and Platini. Platini, who is involved at a very high level in the organisation of next year's World Cup finals here, and he's here tonight. Ibrahim Ba. It's not a bad ball. Maurice turned and turns again, and the save sets it up for Keller to equalise.
Well, I have to say it's been on the cards. The French have really upped the tempo, but they get a bit of luck. You know, Maurice attempted the shot first time, but Bash should never have been allowed to get the cross in. They had 2 against 1 wide on the right. Somehow he managed to squeeze the ball across. Well, Maurice took full advantage of his bit of good fortune. He should never be allowed out of this situation. He gets out too easy. And this is where he gets good fortune. He's quick to react, to be fair. Great shot across the goalkeeper. That's what I always talk about, Alan. If you're following up, you go across a goalkeeper. And all he can do is make a great save, Taffarel. No doubt about this. This is a top quality save from the goalkeeper. Gets low down, he gets his right hand down low to it. It's a super save. Look at that. And when he needs a bit of help, well, Keller's on hand. That's as easy an international goal as he's going to score.
And his first ever for France. The Brazilians come straight back with Roberto Carlos. Dunga, we have a game in our hands now. It would have been hugely enjoyable even before the start of this half, in which the French have really set about the Brazilians.
Game on now. It'll just be interesting to me to note whether the French just take a step back now. Love to see them stay on that front foot. Love to see the Zidane do what he's doing now. Look, he's going to right to the centre-back right away, Alan. Just a little bit off Dunga, but they're putting them under pressure far more at the back now. Force them to play it a little bit longer.
And here's the goal scorer. Blood to the head, still excited about his first international goal. Here's Ronaldo. Oh, wonderful skill from him. Good defending by Laurent Blanc.
He's incredible for a young lad. You know, he gets hit, he gets chopped down or attempted to be chopped down. Somehow, not only does he retain balance, but he retains control of the football.
Leonardo's corner. Aldair far post. Good header away by Zidane. Misjudged by Maurice. So Brazil have possession again. Roberto Carlos for them. Angled over the defenders. Laurent Blanc is there. And a foul by Ronaldo on him. Leonardo, Romario, we've seen a great deal of him tonight, and France attack with Bar if he can keep it in. Deschamps' cross, a good one. Vieira, this is Lizarazu. Keller. Zidane gives it away. Now Romario. Ronaldo just ahead of him. And here he is. Oh, he's done well here. Leonardo.
Looking for the bend. Looking to emulate what his teammate did, Roberto Carlos earlier. It comes down. But this is a goal again, and it's a great strike across. Keeper's really struggling, can't get two hands, can't get hold of it. No surprise there. All you want if you're in the attack inside is someone just following up. Yeah, it was easy, wasn't it?
Lizarazu. Now to Saïd. Deschamps. Foul on him by Leonardo. Brazil have played France 7 times before. 4 victories, 2 draws and only 1 defeat. That was in Paris 9 years ago. Although they did meet in the World Cup in 1986 when France won on penalties.
Bad at this level. 1-1, 6-6, 3-3. Couldn't get a more level game than that.
And five-star entertainment as well. Condela for the French. Here's Keller again. What an impact he's made. Vieira, he's had a nervous sort of match since coming on as an early substitute. But here he is in full flow. Keller takes over, good ball. Ball was well placed in the middle, and Aldeia had to get that ahead of him. French are ready to bring on Thuram, I see, on the touchline as Brazil go forward themselves. With Giovanni. Offside.
That was close, I have to say. I have to agree with Leonardo, that was close. Couldn't have been an awful lot in that decision. It's just flowing now. It's going from end to end. Game spread. A bit more space for everyone. Good players quite enjoy a little bit of space to parade their skills in.
And Lizarazu continues his for run. That could be a penalty, but it isn't.
Yeah, it was a nap he was going down. Aldeia's not best impressed. I think Cafu just did come across, but I don't think made any attempt to tackle here. And down goes Lizarazu. Good decision from the referee. Might well have been tempted to point to the spot, but at a good position.
And now they will make the change, France. Desailly, who had a bit of an injury problem and wasn't really expected to make the starting lineup tonight, now makes way for Lilian Thuram, the only man, in fact, who has started all the previous internationals this season. And the defender, who's just had his first season in Italian football with Parma, on Desailly.
Yeah, straight swap. Fit in there beside Laurent Blanc.
Only 7 of France's 22-man squad actually play their club football in their homeland, by the way. And most of these Brazilians are spread far and wide as well. It's going to be a long 12 months or so for them. They go to their own South American championships, then another domestic season in Europe, and then, of course, the World Cup finals in a year's time. Zidane. Lizarazu. Aldeia didn't really know where that clearance was going. Dunga. Calm, controlled defensive play by Brazil. Giovanni.
That's a poor ball. That's easily dealt with. Laurent Blanc will take those and Thuram will take those all day. We've seen both sides of Brazil tonight. That's definitely, you can say that. Confident, flowing in the first half. Really struggling to make a great deal of impact second half. But the one thing they know, the one thing they do know, if they get defending right in a match, they get it right for the majority of the match. When you have people like Romario and Ronaldo, that ain't bad to know that. If you just keep a clean sheet and keep it tight there, you can just pop the ball up to those two. You can win a game in an instant.
But will this be the instant for the French, I wonder?
Well, he hit a poor free kick first half, Zidane. This is more to his liking, just left of centre, right foot. He could go far post, little bit of bend, or he could go over the wall to this near side. Certainly, both options are there for him on his right.
Off the wall for a corner.
Looked to go over near post, he was a little unlucky. Another couple of feet. I was very, very close to getting over. Mauro Silva, I don't think knew too much about it.
Deschamps. Zidane. Deschamps with a chance to shoot now. The chance didn't last long. Lizarazu. Ba. Left Aldeia for dead, but the defender's back on his feet. Poor cross by Ba. His hairstyle, incidentally, owes much to, well, something out of a bottle for a start, obviously, and also his great sporting hero, the basketball star from the United States, Mr. Dennis Rodman.
He did all right, but it's amazing how often people get wide in positions like that and fire it, even at this level, behind the goal.
Oh, wonderful skill again from Ronaldo. Romario still good defending in the end by France. Romario. Dear.
That's a booking, no doubt about that. Even in a friendly, be very surprised the card doesn't come out.
Spot on. She wasn't. Here's Dunga. Ooh, terrific effort!
Great save.
Well, we nearly had another spectacular goal.
He's got a good position, the goalkeeper. Dunga's a little unlucky. If this starts a couple of yards higher, Alan, and dips a little later, then Barthez might well have been struggling. There's a goalkeeper, steps forward, gets across well, gets good elevation.
And Brazil almost, from the resulting corner, regained the lead. Celio Silva defeating all his opponents with the header. Confirmation that Condela was yellow carded moments ago. Dunga. Thuram. Maurice, good play. Now Zidane. Lizarazu. Vieira being forced wide, but has done well. Great run. Back. Crowd wanted him to shoot. Certainly didn't want him to do that. Ronaldo brings the ball clear. Mario. Giovanni. Cafu just kept it in. And gets the free kick. Foul by Lizarazu.
You haven't said that too often, have you, Alan? Cafu just kept it in up this end of the pitch.
And that'll be Giovanni's last contribution to that attack, because he's about to make way for Jalminha, controversial player with a pretty spectacular disciplinary record, and the man who is commonly believed to be the guy taking the place that Juninho might have taken in this Brazilian squad. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do as Mauro Silva tries to thread a way through, but good challenge by Thuram. Now back. He's got the pace to keep going here. He very nearly did.
Giovanni's been quiet second half. He hasn't really contributed an awful lot. I'm just thinking if Jalminha's keeping Juninho out of the squad, he must be a bit of a player.
Vieira winning it back for France. Got more confident as the game has gone on. Lizarazu. French being urged by their coach not to take too many risks here. Keep possession is the message. Ondela. Deschamps. They've given it away. Vieira was strong to come and get it back again. Dangerous ball, mind you, but Thuram got out of it nicely. The French have played so much better in this second half. Deschamps, Lizarazu. And again, Lizarazu. Done well here. Good tackle. Maurice, back.
Well, I can't believe Keller didn't hit that. Lizarazu did brilliantly to drive right in at the heart of the Brazilian defenders. And it just broke back, and I thought, go on, just pull the trigger, son, you got one. Just here, it's a great run. Straight into the heart there. Great run from Keller to create the space. But as that's blocked there, I thought, as he comes across, go on, your right foot. And he just opted for the more negative little stab across goal.
Don't forget, it's your opportunity as ever to nominate the man of the match tonight. 0891 111101. 0891 111101. Call us now. Lizarazu, 15 minutes to go here in the opening game of the tournoi. It's 1 each. Zidane for France. Dunga wins it back. Good ball, Lizarazu. Well, he's got himself in a tangle. Now Mauro Silva. Roberto Carlos. Substitute. Jalminha. Sweeps it from one flank to the other. It was a difficult ball. Kaku's given it away. Keller. Zidane. It's an even more difficult ball to reach. He's done it though. That's absolutely brilliant from Keller.
Let's be honest here, it was awful from Silvio Silva, honestly. I don't know what he was trying to do. Totally ignored the ball, tried to play the man, got it all wrong. A little lucky.
Jalminha getting it all right at the moment at the other end. Ronaldo. Romario. Zidane has it back, and now Deschamps. French captain. Ba. The only player advanced of him in a blue shirt is Maurice, and he's again delivered a forward cross. And Brazil open play up again brilliantly. Cafu. Good ball for Ronaldo. That's excellent defending by Turon. And he's in possession again. Deschamps takes over. In it goes for Maurice. There's the goal scorer, Keller. Condola almost ran into trouble, and now he has given it away. He might be made to pay for that. Ronaldo. 4 defenders around him. He's shaken off one. Romario up in support. Jalminha. Terrific skill, but defender not to be shaken off. Here's Leonardo. Roberto Carlos, Dunga, the captain. It's a free kick. It's about the same sort of distance, and indeed the same sort of position as the free kick that led to Brazil's goal in the first half.
Well, he's putting it down again, the man in question. They're just trying to get the sub on now.
Mario is coming off, and one of the newcomers will take his place, Paulo Nunes. It's his first international appearance for Brazil. Jalminha can hit a pretty mean free kick as well, and does so.
Well, struck well enough, but I think Barthez had a pretty good look at it. Again, it's round the wall rather than over it. I think goalkeeper's side this time. Yeah, he's just edging that way, the goalkeeper. Had a good look at that one.
He scored one of Brazil's goals in that defeat against Norway. Romario has just gone off, got the other. Romario hasn't looked at his best tonight. Dunga looking for the new man who's taken his place, Nunes. Well, 10 minutes to go. You feel and hope as a neutral that it's not going to peter out into a draw, because there's been so much to admire about tonight's play. It would be lovely to think that we might have more goals to enjoy here.
I think they're both pro. For sure they'll take chances now. Last 10 minutes of the match. Glad to be delighted at the back in it. Wouldn't have wanted to have lost tonight. Keep that good home record going. An impressive one. Brazil will be happy that they're back on track after that thumping they took against Norway.
Foul there by Bart on Roberto Carlos. The Brazilians not looking too happy with things.
They've put a lot into the match, both sets of players, Alan. They've had to work very, very hard tonight. It's a good example. If you thought this was just going to be like a practice tournament, I think what these players have shown tonight, that, no, not at this level.
Ronaldo almost got there. Difficult ball for Vieira. Just quickly closed down, but he did well. Now Lizarazu. Good accurate possession football from France. Deschamps. And now the goal scorer, Keller. Just ahead of him is Zidane.
I think he just lost his footing. Not so sure whether that was a cross or a shot. Movement was lovely, the build-up was lovely and patient. Pass and move created a lovely bit of space. It's a beautifully weighted ball from Keller. So sure, yeah, he's right. Standing foot just goes away from him as he plants it.
France still hoping for that almost elusive victory against Brazil. The only other time they'd beaten them 19 years ago with that winning goal by Michel Platini, as it was, in Paris. I think I said 9 years ago before. That's the trouble with getting old. Everything seems as though it happened yesterday.
Olha para a segunda bola. Vem para a segunda, Paulo. Segunda bola, Djalma.
What is happening tomorrow, of course, is Italy against England. Glenn Hoddle's men open their tournoi with that match in Nantes, and you can see it live, as indeed you can the whole tournament, only here on Sky. Some mouth-watering fixtures ahead as well. We've seen enough tonight to dispel any myth that it wasn't going to have a competitive edge. Any conclusions that you've drawn, Andy?
No, both sides, it's been pretty hard to separate them. I don't think any will say they've played well enough to win the match up till now. And I think France will be absolutely delighted at their second half performance. It was much more up-tempo start to the second half. It got them back in it, got them that goal. Brazil will be a little bit worried about the way they played in the second half, but they've stuck at it. I think in the past, many Brazilian sides might have gone on to lose a game such as this. But they've built up sterner stuff when they're under pressure these days. The quality's still there for all to see if they're allowed to pass it. And the threat is there for all to see as well. Any time in a match.
Leonardo comes forward, but the shot well off target this time. Another reminder of the telephone number to ring for your man of the match vote. It's 0891 111101. Call us now.
I think the one thing that would worry me about the French side is the front position. Not so sure if Maurice is the answer. Certainly it was clever to pick him.
He's back. Vieira's cross, too heavy I think, but Keller got there well. Foul by Ronaldo. Zidane. Did well to find Keller, having initially miscontrolled it. Free kick, foul by Jalminha.
Now this might be a little wide for a shot, direct shot. You never tell with the quality that's on show, of course. Certainly warrants Blanc going up, Thuram going up. Vieira. Oh, decent targets along with Ba. That far post.
Into the last 5 minutes here. Can the French take the lead? Deschamps holds it up, but there's an offside. And it was Thuram who also got a clout round the head there, I think, unseen by the referee. Wasted free kick, really, Andy.
It is this late in the match. You just want to put it in an area where your players can go at Deschamps. A little bit too much weight on it. There will be one or two tired legs out there.
Oh dear. Well, that's a clumsy ball. Can Ba make something of it here? Oh, he took a risk. FRA could have easily gone over his head.
Well, he gets any touch on it, Ba, and it does go past the goalkeeper. Great header back in from Vieira. Well, I think it's an absolutely smashing game, I have to say.
Jalminha. It's a great ball. Nunez didn't seem to realise it was there.
Yeah, he's about a yard away from it, Ba. Maybe the goalkeeper was more in control than he looked from up here.
Brazilians are about to make another change. Gonçalves, experienced central defender. About to come on, and the French not about to get the free kick that looked merited then. Brazil do get a free kick, foul on Nunez, as Gonçalves waits. He will finally get on for Aldair. Very skillful defender, Gonçalves replaces another of the over 30s in the side. Gonçalves himself is 30. Deschamps for France. Vieira has really settled into this game after an apprehensive sort of opening. Now Zidane. Good ball for Keller. France have it back again. Keller, who's had a very good half since coming on as a substitute. And a great ball aimed towards Bar. It comes to Maurice. What a hero he could have been then, on his home ground, in his hometown.
They're the worst chances in the world. Tell you what, honestly, when it just drops at you, you've got time to think. Well, he didn't hit that volley well, but there's our man in the match, I believe. And why not? After that free kick that he hit first half, who's going to argue with it? Roberto Carlos.
Yeah, that moment alone deserved your award. And he's had a pretty good game all round as well. Thuram. Free kick to France. A minute to go now. on taking his time about the free kick. And a lovely turn again by Maurice. Good cross as well. Barry's there. Zidane might have done a little bit better then, but Gonçalves defended well and gets the free kick in the end.
Yeah, a little wink says it all. He won the free kick in the end, I think. Going to shoot from there.
Tafarel delivers an excellent long ball off the ground. Lizarazu is there to defend. Well, they're inevitably looking a little fatigued now, some of these players. They've had a long season, of course, in various domestic football around the world. They'll be together now for a fair period of time. Rest will be as important as preparation. But we've seen enough tonight to know that there's a feast in store over the next 9 days. It's the first of 6 matches in the tournoi. Dunga. A minute into stoppage time. Mauro Silva. Cafu, another who's had an excellent match. Lovely ball, Dunga, Nunes. Jalminha's tackle, he's beaten Deschamps. Brazil could still win it yet. Cafu. Nunes well placed, but he's hit it over him, and the save almost knocked the ball to the feet of Ronaldo, who you don't want to see coming in on you. Barthez recovered well.
That was a testing cross. He's at full stretch, but full marks to him, always losing his balance. He didn't ever give it up.
Is that to be the final opportunity of the game, I wonder? Brazil come forward again with Ronaldo. There's a bad challenge by Deschamps, free kick. And I wonder if our man of the match fancies underlining his award.
Another book in there, was it, for Deschamps?
Yeah. Well, they say lightning never strikes twice. Can Roberto Carlos strike twice? French wall coming out quickly to try and close the space this time. On target again, and the deflection takes it for a corner, but it will not be taken because the referee's whistle this time is the final whistle. And Roberto Carlos, your vote as man of the match, started the tournoi off in magnificent style with as great a free kick as you will ever see anywhere in the world. A stunning effort, but the French, who had an excellent second half, hit back. A simple tap-in equaliser, but Keller will never forget it. Not many get to score against Brazil. His first goal for France, and it has earned them a point. And our first match here in the tournoi has ended level. A lot to admire, not the least that unforgettable goal from Brazil. And I don't think we're ever going to tire of seeing that. The fans have enjoyed it. It's been a good start to the tournament here, and the match